You know, if you're driving around the tri-state and you see one of these signs, you know our friends at Superior Ag are working with their customers to get better yields. Let's go see what we can learn. Hey Todd, good to see you.
Scott, good to see you.
You know, a lot of folks think that when the seed's in the ground, the work's done for the farmer. You know that's not the case. Tell me about it.
Yeah, if you've been in agriculture very long, what you'll realize is that the crop's not made until the grain's in the bin.
Well, and I know with that, farmers have to have a lot of tools to protect the crops. Fungicide, tell me about that as well.
Yeah, so one of the key things we've really started looking at is using fungicides. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to protect that plant to keep it healthy and alive as long as it can. Very similar to you and I getting a vaccine, you know, or a flu shot.
You're kind of a doctor.
That's right. There you go. That's
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
We're trying to treat that plant so that it doesn't get sick. On the flip side of that, the fungicides we use, they have a curative property as well. So once that plant is sick, we can actually cure that plant, no different than you or I getting an antibiotic if we're sick.
Now I know when you're doing this, you guys have to do a lot of studies, a lot of data, pre-data when you go out on site and look with the farmers?
Yeah. So we spend a lot of time working with our growers. We scout their fields, we look for diseases, see how their crop's progressing, see if it's going to be beneficial for them to apply a fungicide.
And most of this is aerial application, would that be right?
Yeah, in soybeans we do it through our ground rigs, but in corn we do most of it aerial application. You know, a lot of this corn's 8, 10, 12 feet tall. It's pretty tough to get through with a machine, so we do it all with airplanes.
Now your relationship with the farmers, they come in, they talk to you, they're really counting on you in this situation.
Yeah, we try to be their trusted advisor. That's what we're here for. We want them to trust us. We want to bring them knowledge, bring them innovation, things to help them grow a better crop and be more profitable. So if you look at some plants here we've got in front of us, here's a leaf that we pulled out of a field earlier today, and if you see these little brown lesions, that's called gray leaf spot.
Okay.
That's just one of many diseases that our corn crop gets. You know, if you take this leaf here and look at this, this is Physoderma brown spot. You know, these are two of the things that we're trying to protect that plant from or cure it. These diseases, if we don't spray them, they will continue to spread across all the leaf tissue on that plant.
Now what's D-Day? Is there a certain point where it's just too late? I mean, do they have to jump on this early?
Yeah, so we typically want to have it done by brown silk. So we get into the reproductive stage when corn starts shooting tassel, we start getting silks come out. Once that pollination is done, those silks turn brown. So we want to try and have it done before that.
Okay.
That's kind of the key time when we get the best return on investment.
Now what's the difference between this and a healthy one? What's it look like after you've done this?
So if you look at a healthy plant here, you're going to have complete green tissue. There's no disease on this leaf at all. That's what you want to look like. You want to capture all the sun you can. I mean, it's free energy. That's what we're doing. We're converting that energy into grain, and the more green tissue you have, the more energy you can capture.
That's definitely green.
Yeah, it's definitely green. Yeah, it looks great. If we know we're going to have fields or hybrids, different hybrids are more susceptible to disease. So we start trying to make a plan, and then once we get right before tassels and we start scouting fields, talking to customers, and seeing what we need to spray and what we don't need to spray. And then there's a little bit of a lag time. You know, we've got to come back, we've got to enter those fields in what they call Flight Plan Online. That's what our pilots use to know which fields they need to spray. So there's usually you know, maybe 3-4 days, a week, 10 days lag time between when we look at the field and when it actually gets applied.
And I can't imagine the amount of formula mixing all that this takes.
Yeah, so it takes a lot because we're spraying thousands, tens of thousands of acres. So we mix that all up on our trucks, and then we bring it out here to the airport and we load it on the planes, and they have everything in their plane that tells them where to go spray it. And then they actually make the application.
Okay, you make it sound simple. I know it's not that simple.
Yeah, no, it's not that simple. I wish it was.
We got some trucks over here. Can we go check those out?
Yep, absolutely.
Let's do it.
And Scott, this is an example of one of our Superior Ag trucks. What we do is at the Huntingburg branch, we mix up the product. We put it on this tender truck, and then we bring it out here to the airport and basically load the planes as they need it.
So this isn't a milkshake we're mixing?
No, this is certainly
not a blue milkshake.
This is certainly not a blue milkshake.
Okay.
Typically what we've got in here is we've got our fungicide in here, and then we also use adjuvants. And what adjuvants do is they help make sure that our product hits the target and sticks to the target. That way it helps from drifting and different things like that, and make sure that we get the full effect of that fungicide on that plant.
Like a rainy day like today, does that come into play?
Yeah, so if it's raining, you know, that product can be washed off the plant. So typically we don't spray when it's raining. Every product has a different, what they call rain fast. Some of them need to be on a half an hour before it starts raining, some of them 2 or 3 hours before it starts raining. So that's something that we watch, that the pilots watch. They watch the radar, they watch the forecast to make sure that if we're applying that fungicide to that acre, that it's not going to get washed off and wasted.
Okay. I want to check out one of those planes. I got to get in one before we leave here
Absolutely.
today.
Well, let's do that.
All right, let's go look at it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Todd, you got to promise me something.
What's that?
I'm not going to be jumping out of this today.
Well, we'll see how the day goes. We might have you do that.
All right, all right. I'll tell you what, you guys do a great job up here for Superior Ag.
Yep.
The biggest thing I learned is when the seed's in the ground, it's really on at that point, isn't it?
That's right, that's right. That's when all the work begins. That's when we got to make sure that crop is successful from then till the point we harvest it, or the grower harvests it and put it in his bin.
Well, thanks for all you do for the farmers.
Yep.
And thanks for teaching me today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Be back with more Ag Life right after this.